Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is Joe Pugh for IFLTV. We're here, it's London Bridge, a long day of media. You just said the end is in sight. Savannah Marshall, how are you?
Good, I'm tired, but had a great day, boxed a lot off.
It's been announced this week, 8th of June, Newcastle. It's not too far for yourself. You kind of built it as your home for boxing and now kind of starting life for the PFL in the cage. How's it been for the first of all?
It's been mental. So someone actually said to me, one of the lads out the gym, I've been training now for 8 months, and honestly it feels like about 3 or 4. It's just flew. It's absolutely flew.
Is it harder than you thought it was going to be?
Yeah. If I would have asked myself what I know now 8 months ago, would I have still done it? Probably, yeah. I'm not going to lie, but I would have went into it with I'd have been a little bit more hesitant maybe.
Your team, I spoke to Peter about 3 weeks ago. He said that he's still helping out a little bit with the striking, but you've got Team Aspinall, Andy. How did that kind of combo come about? Because I know obviously Tom used to work with Peter a little bit.
Yeah. So I've known Andy now for about 7 years. When I first teamed up with Peter was training Tom. So I know Tom and Andy well. And when this come about, he's the only person who I really know in that world. So I just dropped him a message and said, can I come and do a little bit with you? And he was like, yeah, of course. And he's a brilliant trainer. Andy is a really, really good trainer. And obviously I've got Peter there still. So what better combo?
Obviously there's so many aspects of MMA. What have you found most challenging and what do you dislike doing the most?
I've said it all day. What I've found most challenging is what benefited me in boxing just doesn't benefit me, really, apart from my hands, but my stance. Obviously, I was quite elusive right on the back foot. Can't do that. I've had to square up. I've had to kind of get my weight central. Used to have my hands below my waist. Can't do that because there's kicks coming to the head. So that whole change of stance I've found quite difficult. But on the flip side, I love the wrestling. I love the groundwork. I love the BJJ. So it's new, isn't it? And when you think I've boxed for 23 years, a long, long time. So all this is like, wow. In a different gym, you're even training without boots on, flat-footed. And even that is like, that's hard work to me.
Did you feel like you needed a little shake-up? Because obviously you said there you've been boxing for over 20 years of your life and rolling into camp after camp, and it can become repetitive. This is completely new.
Yeah, I think it has come at the right time. 3-4 years ago, would I have been interested? No. And I think obviously I won all the better undisputed super middle, and really the only thing left for me really to get back on in boxing is rematch with Claressa and get that win over her. Obviously, she beat me last time out, so I'm desperate for that rematch.
We will go on to Claressa in a minute. But what is kind of your relationship at the minute like with Boxer? Obviously promoted you for your last fights. Were they happy for you to go over and do your thing in MMA?
Initially, I think they were quite shocked. Yeah. But I think now with the seeing it as like a chance for me to improve, boost my profile globally, different sport. And I was meant to box in March, that fell through. So really, it's come at the best time because I can still keep active, although I'm not in the boxing ring. I'm still doing the camp, I'm still keeping fit, strong. And look, Boxer and Ben have supported me. Really, they're although I was a world champion when I went with Boxer, they really pushed me to that next level. They were having me headline shows. Obviously, the massive fight with Claressa, biggest female fight of all time. And also Sky, they've been brilliant, and I still consider myself as a boxer fighter, and that door's open for me.
Would you say you've lost the love for boxing at the minute?
No, I haven't lost the love. It was just like I said, I had a hand operation after my Franch and Cruz fight. I had a mandatory in Shadisa Green. couldn't fight her because of my hand, so she got matched with Franchon. Franchon beat her, so it's like, well, I've just beat Franchon, so what's left there for me? It's the rematch with Claressa is what I've got my eyes on.
Is there any worries, any concerns kind of from you, your team, Peter? Because we do see in the case some quite grotesque injuries, and obviously it's all going to be new to you, but worst case scenario, this could happen. That could have a longer impact on your boxing career if and when you do go back to it.
100%. I've seen quite a few things recently, actually, and it's about how MMA is actually safer. And when you think about it, because in boxing, you get hurt, you go down, 8 count. Bell goes back to the corner, come out again, get hurt, go down, 8 count. Whereas MMA, as soon as you get hurt, it gets stopped. So when you weight up in that way, it's like, yeah, it's a little bit safer. The training, I think, because it is so dangerous and you can be so injury prone in doing all the different sports, I think it has got to be a lot more controlled. So the training, where sparring, you go in there and you're all out, it's got to be a little bit more controlled because, like I said, it's so you can be so injured quite easily. But let's just, look, I'm putting myself in the best shape, the best predicament, where hopefully I'm not getting concussed, I'm not getting my leg snapped, I'm not getting my elbow pulled out of joint. So,
do you think we will see you in the ring this year, the boxing ring, that is?
That's a plan, I hope so. I've got nothing set in stone. We'll just have to see after the 8th of June.
Historically, kind of MMA fighters cross over to boxing. We've seen it most recently with Francis Ngannou, but it's done less so with what you're doing, transitioning from boxing to MMA. What do you think is harder, knowing what you know?
MMA.
Yeah.
Honestly, MMA. They come to me a couple of months ago and asked, 8th of June, Newcastle. And I was like, yeah, plenty of time. And then when I agreed, I thought, oh, well, it is only like 15 weeks away. Am I gonna have a level of jiu-jitsu? Is my wrestling gonna be? What about my kicking? Do you know what I mean? So I don't think there is any perfect time to be ready for an MMA fight, because I don't think is there anyone who's brilliant at each different discipline. So I think you've just got to go for it. Otherwise, I'm 2 years on, I'll be like, oh, still not ready.
Psychologically, how have you found it in the gym sparring? Because you've come from the sport where you are elite, you are seen as kind of pound for pound top 10, most people's rankings, and you're not going to be that in the MMA world. Certainly not to start off with. You are a novice because you've only been in there 8 months.
Humbling. I'm getting humbled every session. I'm tapping 6-7 times, more sessions, and I just think, like you said, there's been times I've come away from the gym and just thought, I am crap. I am terrible at this. And then other days I'll come away and think, do you know what, I'm doing all right there. I only tapped 4 times. But like I said, it's I've went from there, elite, all the belts in boxing, to beginner's class.
Is it important for ego not to get the better of you? Because as you said there, tapping 4 times, 5 times every sparring session, so you don't really want to come in macho. You've got to learn, got to take it nice and slow.
I had some advice off a MMA fighter, Veronica Hardy, very early on, and she said that no ego in the gym. She went, you need to tap, you tap. She went, don't be being a hero, don't be being brave, because that's how you get injured. So as soon as it gets a squeeze on, yeah, that'll do.
Let's talk about Claressa Shields then. Do you think you would be doing this if Claressa wasn't, first of all?
No, not at all. And she's going to say, I'm just a massive stalker. She's going to say, I want to be here. But look, if BFL had come to me and went, George, you fancy going in the league? Hell no. Do you fancy fighting Claressa in the cage? Yeah. Give me the contract, of course I will. So,
do you obviously she's had more experience than you in the cage now. Have you watched her tape and you think, all right, give it, not this fight obviously, but give it next fight after that, you can beat her?
Yeah, and it's a different narrative. Look, I still believe I can beat her in the boxing ring. Maybe that's my ego. Maybe that's my big-headedness. But I believe that, you know, how can I say I'm more skillful fighter than the best female on the planet? But that is generally what I believe. I believe that I got the game plan horrifically wrong. But even in the cage, it's a new narrative, and the thought of I'm just gonna make you. I'm gonna cause hell for you. That's what I keep thinking in my head. I can't wait to just choke you out.
Is there still genuine kind of, not hatred, but yeah, you don't like each other? It's pretty clear to see over the years.
No, I think we're civil, and I think she probably won't admit it, but I know I've helped her career. I mean, it takes two to dance, and we had the biggest female fight, and you know, we done really well out of it. And boxing's a business as well, and what better rivalry? You know, you don't see it in other weight classes. They haven't really got that nastiness. Yeah, she humbled me, she beat me, and that was hard to swallow. So there's always been that respect. I know there has. And even when I'd first signed, I was in New York with her, and she went to me, "I've got one question. Why MMA?" And I was like, "Well, because you're here, of course. I'm your biggest fan."
Are you seeing this as the decider? Obviously, you amateur, her pro, MMA cage, or is it important for you before your end of career to get back in the traditional boxing ring?
Yeah, 100%. Boxing's my first love, and it's where I am today, and I'm not finished with boxing.
Just finally then, go to June, what sort of opponent are we looking at? Because it's very, very different to boxing. There's not your journey women, there's not kind of the people getting in there to do the rounds, to teach you something. I think everyone's going to come for the win.
And I think now, because obviously PFL are backing me, home crowd, home show, people are going to be thinking, God, I beat her. They're going to put me in the league, I beat her, they're going to sign me up. So it's like I've got a target on my back now.
You feeling the pressure?
No, not really. I'm not feeling pressure. I'm excited, I'm nervous, and I'm anxious, but I'm buzzing. I think it's generally like being a novice having my first fight. That is what it's like, it's the unknown.
Excellent. Savannah Marshall, thank you very much for speaking to IFLTV, and best of luck on June 8th. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.